We are living in the best time and the best era for humanity, but it often doesn't feel like that when you see people around you progressively getting more and more dissatisfied with their life and seeing more and more people having mental illnesses, having mental problems. It it stumps you, because looking at it objectively, looking into the past, every decade has just been getting better and better for humanity. The opportunities to elevate your life have been getting more widely, easily accessible, broader, and the quality of life just for anyone is better. Just looking into a couple years back, let's say 20 years back, people used to have to buy CDs, used to have to buy albums to listen to music, and then they'd have to buy speakers that cost about, I don't exactly know how much they cost, but they were a luxury. Ordinary people could not, listen to music on demand like that. And now Spotify is basically free. Everyone has a phone, everyone has earphones, and it feels like people are still dissatisfied. You can extrapolate this to any aspect of life. For example, I think laundry. Now you have washing machines. Now you have dishwashers, and you used to have to actually, what is it called? Used to actually have to wash your own clothes every single day. You used to have to wash the dishes every single. I mean, I still do. A lot of people still do, but now there's washing machines that everyone basically has, and so why does it feel like everyone is still dissatisfied with their lives? Why does it feel like everyone feels like this is the worst time, the worst era ever? And I think it has to do with the fact that we've been upgrading our lifestyle, but also um, increasing our workload. I mean, I don't think increasing is the right word because I think people used to work like 10, 12 hours a day just to get by. But I think the amount that our lifestyle has upgraded is also uh, okay. What I'm trying to say is people are still working similar hours, the same workload, maybe even more stress is put on them because of just a lot more things happening in the world. But the lifestyle has just been upgrading. So, for example, people used to, have the time to wash their clothes by themselves. People used to have the time to go people used to have the time to go grocery shopping by themselves, and people used to have the time to cook meals for themselves. And now we've made it accessible. We've made it specialized to certain people or certain machines to do those things for us, so we can have time to do other things. But it feels like the time we have to do other things has to be funding these machines. When previously people just lived and did everything by themselves and then worked minimal hours, it feels like now people are working more hours so they can have the capital and they have the funds to, fund the electricity needed for the machines that do the things that we used to do by ourselves. So basically, if we used to work 4 hours a day doing menial labor, I mean, doing normal shit, doing uh, what? Okay, if you used to work 4 hours a day for capital and then used the rest of the 4 hours to do chores, now we're using 8 hours a day to work for capital and then using those capital to replace the hours that we would have put into um doing the things that our machines are doing now. And in a lot of ways, it's better because some people don't like doing dishes, some people don't like cooking, they just want to have it hand delivered. But the thing is, I don't believe that humans were made to be specialists, to outsource every single thing they do into someone else, a chef, a machine that, uh, you know, or an assistant, um, I mean, like an accountant, a dishwasher, a washing machine. I'm using the same examples over and over, but I hope you get the point. It's we're outsourcing everything so we can only have one thing to do, and I feel like in turn that has sort of a negative effect on our mental state, because I feel like as humans we were supposed to live life. We were supposed to be able to experience the joy, the hardships of doing everything, like cooking, like grocery shopping. There's a lot of joy in doing that. I feel if you really looked at the little things in life, and we were meant to cook, we were meant to wash our clothes, and now that we've outsourced it, it's just been getting more depressing and more boring because we're only doing one thing. And I just believe that we were supposed to be generalist. We were supposed to do all of those things and not specialize into one thing and outsource everything into someone else or something else. I think that's the reason why a lot of people are stressed out. And of course, that's not the only thing, because while I feel objectively we have more time than we've ever had before, we are consumed, much more consumed by everything else, by social media, by addictive substances, addictive apps. A lot of people are addicted to their smartphones. I think I am. A lot of people are addicted to their computers, addicted to playing games, addicted to, it used to be just drugs, gambling, smoking, and it feels like now everything has just been capitalized on. Drugs on your phone, you know. Now vape, like smoking turned into vaping. Like vaping's like smoking for nerds, but you know, a lot of thing has been marketed, used as businesses. These things that prey on our psychology. Eventually, it feels like you have no more time for yourself, because the time you have is spent to acquire funds to do everything you were supposed to do, and then the remaining time is you being stuck in the system to fund someone else's app. What I mean by that is the time you spend watching TikTok, the time you spend watching Instagram Reels. It's making money for those corporations, watching those advertisements. You're put much more into a consumer-based lifestyle just from the things you watch on your phone, the things you watch on your PC, and it's just a cycle of everything that life was supposed to be about. Spending time outside, talking with your friends like IRL, um, making food for yourselves, making food for your family, and then doing things as a house or like with your community. That has been replaced with everything. All the labor you do is for capital acquisition, and then the rest of the time you are put into a consuming, uh, you know, an addictive consumer lifestyle. So you just spend all your time working and all your time spending, not doing the little things, the joys of life. Waking up early in the morning, going for a walk with your dogs, going for a walk with your family, biking with your family, having lunch together. When was the last time you had lunch with your family or with your best friends, not your coworkers? And when was the last time you cooked breakfast for yourself, you cooked food for yourself, you went grocery shopping for yourself? It's a lot of the joys in life have been replaced with machines to do it for us, to do our bidding for us. But in turn, we have to work more to fund those outsourcings, and then you also are put into a more addictive consumer lifestyle. That's about it. Thank you for watching.